Hello everybody and welcome to Bathmat Reviews, where today we are going to be talking about Transformers, Age of the Primes, Prima Prime. Can you tell that this guy's a Prime? But, yeah, so this is like the first Prime, basically. And, he's kind of like, roughly, he's like where the name Prime comes from. I prefer to just call him Prima, because Prima Prime sounds redundant, but, yeah, he's pretty cool. I really like this guy. I'm not the biggest fan of the head sculpt, but I understand it. Like, the design is based off of a G1 character that, was retroactively made to be Prima Prime. I'm not the biggest fan of the head sculpt, but, it's a nitpick. I still, overall, really like this design, and yeah. Now, box review. So here he is. More Than Meets the Eye, 20 Steps, Transformers, Age of the Primes, the 13 Prima Prime. Then you have Prima right there. You have him in his vehicle mode. You have 13 Prima Prime. You got the bottom. You got the side, which has the primes on it. I have this one. I have that one. I do not have that one. Well, I mean, I do technically, but I really hope they release a new, why am I blanking on his name? Oh, not... Oh my gosh, why is it completely left? Alpha Trion. There we go. That was not that difficult. Why couldn't I remember it? I do hope that they come out with a new Alpha Trion figure, because currently, well, I've pretty much missed out on all the versions released until now, except for the Transformers 1 like regular toy. And then there you have Prima doing the Luke Skywalker pose, which is pretty cool. Then you have 20 Steps, you got the Star Saber, then you have his chest, and yeah, that's it. Whoosh. Water. It's delicious. So, yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Now, let's get into accessories. He comes with technically three, but also they're all one, which is the Star Saber. And it is sick. It looks so cool. You got that side and that side. You have the hilt with the Matrix of Leadership. And yeah, I'm not sure why it looks different to me. Hold on. Let me grab other primes. Well, Optimus Primes. I meant another prime, but then I just come out other prime. That's what's throwing me off. So if we hold them up and compare them to each other, there's the bronze. Would you call that bronze? I'm going to call it bronze. Orange, whatever. Ring, whereas this is just silver. And also, my gosh, who painted this? Like, did they do it while drunk? I have a whole bunch of paint smear over the actual supposed to be blue part, but it doesn't bother me all that much. And yeah, and this can, oh, there's his symbol right there. He has his own unique symbol, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure that all the primes have their own unique symbol on this line. I'm not 100% sure, but if so, that's pretty cool. And, yeah, now let's get a closer look at him. So here's his head, there's his chest, and there's his legs, and then here's the back. And yeah, now as far as sword storage goes, well, you can have it right on his back like that. And of course it can go on the other side as well. And the cool thing is, he actually can reach around, and especially if you adjust, it takes a little bit of adjusting, but he can fully grab the sword and unsheath it himself. Well, unsheath is kind of a loose word, but yeah. So he can actually pull out his sword, which is pretty dang cool to me, because I love when they can do that. But if you don't want the matrix on his sword, which I personally do, I like to keep it there. I think I don't remember which continuity it's in, but in one of the continuities, it's like the inspiration. Like his hilt was like the inspiration for the matrix, and it was like built later on or something. There's a lot of weird Prime lore, well, the 13 Prime lore, and so it makes it a little bit difficult to follow. But you can open that up and put that right into his chest. I said right in. Oh my goodness, you'd think I buttered this thing. You can put that right into his chest like that, and I'm not gonna push it in too far because I want to get it out easily enough. But yeah, you can keep it in there, and if you like it, you can keep it in there, and you can hold it in there while it's transformed as well. So that's cool. And yeah. Now it also comes into this part, which is also for storage. But yeah, I guess you could also have it be like a lightsaber. It's like, or like, when these two pieces combined, it creates the Star Saber. I don't know. You can have whatever lore you want. But yeah, so there's that, and that's cool. And yeah, so let's get into articulation, because it's pretty good. So you got out that far, you got full 360, you have these at the shoulder pads so you can move them all around, and that's pretty much just for so that you can get them into better poses, which I think is cool. Head is on a ball joint, and you got side to side and all that nice stuff. You have bicep swivel, you have over 90 degrees of bend at the arm, you have wrist rotation, you have opening and closing hands so he can hold the matrix, you have a waist rotation, so that's nice. You got forward that far, back that far. His backpack kind of gets in the way. Then you have out that far. Then you have a thigh swivel, and you have a knee bend, which is weird because the knee bend is kind of weird because there's a very, like, you can see how it snaps in right there. You can probably hear it, but on this, it just, there's literally no traction there. Like this, it moves to a certain point, then you push past it, and it goes clunk, and then you're not going to be able to move it much until you pop it out, and then here. But with this one, you can, it's buttery smooth, and like you can see the joint thing there where it's supposed to lock, and on this one it does, and on this one it just doesn't. But that's not really a complaint. It doesn't bother me. It's just weird. What does kind of bother me is that this part right here loves to come undone. The amount of times I'll be holding him by like the waist, and I'll just put a little bit too much pressure here, and it'll pop the back out, just slightly, like that much. It not enough for it to be like anything too noticeable, but just so that the next time that you move the arms, it's like, and then you're moving it at this joint instead of the proper thing, and then you have to like readjust and get that lined up and then tab that all in. So that's a little bit annoying. Seriously. But yeah. And now let's get into size comparisons. Oh wait, did I finish the, yeah, he has ankle tilt, and then he has a little bit of forward, up and down, forward and back. So, gosh, these, like, I always am putting pressure right here, and it's just enough to slightly pop it out. So you really got to hold him from like right here for that not to happen, but I don't know. So, here he is with my previous review. Dark of the Moon Shockwave. And I got stand. And I got the new light thingy, so that even if this one dies, I can switch it out real quick and continue, so we'll never have to deal with that again. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that this guy's almost the same size as this one, considering they're very different size classes. technically speaking. Like, this guy's a leader class, this guy's a Voyager. Is it a Voyager? No. It's like the middle one between a leader and a Voyager. I don't remember. Actually, I'll just grab the box. Yep, it's a Voyager. Then what's Solus? Solus is a deluxe. Okay, that makes sense. And, gosh, his feet are so loose. And then here he is with Optimus Prime, aka some call him the 13th Prime. Others, in some continuities, he's the 13th Prime. Other times he's not. Personally, I like it when he's not, just because, like, well, it is cool that he's, like, you know, destined to be the chosen one and is the reincarnation of the 13th Prime, the one who sacrificed himself to light the not the Allspark, well, kind of, the Well of the Sparks or whatever. I prefer it when Optimus Prime is just a good dude who, being in, well, both the right and wrong place at the right and wrong time, gets killed and gets rebuilt into Optimus and or receives the Matrix of Leadership due to his being actually a good guy and gaining it. But, that's just me. You can like him as the 13th Prime. I mean, I don't hate it by any means. I think it's still cool. It's just... And here he is with Batman. And they are basically the same height. So that's cool. Now, let's get into transformation, because it's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of what he turns into, but I don't know. He just kind of turns into, like, a weird space van, which, I don't know. Water is so good. Being a van and a Prime just, for some reason, doesn't fit right to me. You might have a totally different opinion, but anyway, well, let's get into it, because the transformation itself is fun. I'm just not the biggest fan of what he turns into. So, first, detach this, as it will so greatly want to, and just leave all that up. Then, take the wheels and flip them out, and rotate this around like that. Then take the head and bring that down, and yes, he will have visible head syndrome. No, you can't do anything about it. This tab, he has a tab in the back of his head that goes right there. So it's kind of important to not do that, because if you flip it around, it just, like, the chin gets in the way, and then it can't actually go down as flat. So you have to have it facing down, which might bother you, or it might not, because, I don't know. Then bring up the arms like so on this diagonal, then flip this around and then peg those in. I bring these out just so that I get a better, easier way of lining that up. Then take the arms and open them, and it's always weirdly difficult to try and do that because they never open the way that you think. The fist goes out like this, then you fold that in, and then instead of closing it, you rotate it like that. And then same thing on this side. Just rotate this open, and then flip that in, and then ta-da, like that. And now, bring all this down, and just tab these in like that. And why are you fighting me? I literally just transformed this guy before filming this, just to make sure that I did everything right, and I did. So, what gives? So then, wait, do these lock in like that? That's actually, yeah. So I guess that locks over that. I don't know if I've done that before by accident every time or not, but I think that's what you're supposed to do. So then take the wheels, which are surprisingly hard to get out, and do that on this side as well. Just bring that out, and then take the feet, flip them in, peg we'll kind of slot them in like this. Just slot, then flip, and then get that in there, and then there are these slots right there that will go into those spots right there. And it will be at a, you want it to be at an angle, which is kind of weird, but because I knew that ahead of time from other, like apparently for other reviews that I saw before I got this guy, like he, like they would try to transform him and have it all squared off, and then they'd be like, what? And then you gotta have it actually at this angle, and then it works. Oh, then take these, just tuck that in like that. Then bring the wheels down and into that slot right there, like so. Just give it all a nice squeeze, and you are done. And this is a block with wheels. See what I mean by space van? Yeah. I'm still not sure if I like it or not, because, well, part of me is like, wow, for the first Prime, that's like not very crazy at all. Like that's pretty boring. But at the same time, like the first Prime being like a humble van, basically, I think that also kind of works. So depending on how you feel, water. You might feel different ways about it. Oh, also, I forgot to do this, but if you have the Matrix of Leadership in his chest before transforming it, it stays in there just fine, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, as far as the storage for the Star Saber goes, you can do, well, a couple things. Actually, before I forget, they say that you can put it into like a hover mode, like this, and I don't know why this is in the instructions. Like, I saw this, and technically you can do it. It doesn't even look like it's a meant-to-be mode. It looks like when I was a youngin' and was like, ah, yes, I want there to be a hover mode, and then I flip the wheels down. Oh, also, for this storage, you can put it like that, and you can just... But the storage that I normally do is you take this part, bring that in there, and just peg that in. There's a peg right there that's just out of view, basically. And you peg that in, and then you take this piece and peg this in right here. These wheels do not tab in well enough, in my opinion. Just peg that in right there. And, oh, I'm pretty sure he can hold this with two hands, especially according to the box art. But, yeah. So, that's also cool for those kinds of poses. But you peg that in there, and then you just put that down, and it rolls just fine. And yeah, and that's about it. So thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below what characters I should review next. But spoilers, the next ones coming out after this are going to be the rest of the Prime figures that I own. Well, the Age of the Prime Primes, 13 Primes specifically. I have the Fallen and Soulless, so yeah, those will be out very soon after this, because I'm reviewing them all at the same time because, well, they're sick. Bye!